It says fair trials equals fair rights. We all want a fair trial. We all deserve fair rights. It says no more false arrests in Santa Barbara. That does need to stop. Risk management shouldn't be withholding settlements, telling everybody $12,000 is the max. I don't know if that's the case, but I do believe they lied to me, especially since 2 months ago they paid themselves 50,000, and I feel like that is a little bit corrupt. So with that being said, I'm gonna be out here a little bit, show my sign. It just says, once again, it says fair trials equals fair rights. No more false arrests in Santa Barbara, and there's honor and truth, not corruption. It also says stop deporting the innocent people and stop enslaving the minorities. No more false arrests, basically. And like, as you can see, I'm out here with my evidence that was denied to me at my hearing. I was denied a trial for my complaint, and I was arrested while I had a separated shoulder and a winged scapula. And while I was arrested, the bed is a cement. We don't get a cushion. I did feel the cement on my bed. So every day when I went up to get my meals, I was in a lot of pain. And so I'm out here because the risk management team of Santa Barbara, right behind me, there's an office. They told me $12,500 is the max they could do. Take it or leave it. And after 5 years of suffering without work and being injured, I was tricked into taking that settlement. But I'm out here because it is an injustice, and we do want to change in Santa Barbara. I do believe everybody deserves rights. And if this was done unjust, corruptly, I would like especially the city leaders to reevaluate my case, and look at everybody who, if they're gonna hold me accountable, I don't mind as long as they hold everybody else accountable. But if I'm gonna be the only one accountable, then there needs to be some type of solution, because my daughter is suffering. If I can't get these payments to her, she lives in the studio with her mother and her brother. I live in the kitchen with my sister. A proper settlement for malrepresentation legally, and a malpractice, doctor, like a medical malpractice and a legal malpractice, is more than $12,000. So with that being said, I just hope that I just hope that it gets stopped. Like this needs to stop. They need to stop lying to the people, especially if they're entrusted by the people. They're representing for the people. There's no reason to lie. There's no reason to use the tricks of the trade on behalf of the law. If you're going to be doing it, justice and honor and truth and facts, you don't need to use the tricks of the trade to file a bunch of depositions to try to dismiss a case. A fair trial is a fair trial. Let's admit evidence. Let's have everything presented. Let's not have it get dismissed, because it does lead to corruption. It does lead to a lot of pain and suffering. And I'm out here trying to protest that. So with that being said, I'm gonna be here for a little bit, and these are my signs.